Welcome to Math TV with Professor V. Here's your integral of the day. I know it has been a while. My apologies. I was buried under a pile of grading, but I've finally emerged. So happy to be back recording. We have an integral from 0 to 9 of x squared dx over rad 81 minus x squared. So I want to point out this is an improper integral because notice at 9, my function is undefined since the denominator would be equal to 0. Therefore, the first thing I need to do is rewrite this, replacing that upper limit as the limit as t approaches 9 from the left of now the integral from 0 to t of x squared dx over radical 81 minus x squared. All right, if you get confused as to which side we are approaching from when you do these limits, just remember this integral is from 0 to 9. So you could think of it like we are on the interval from 0 to 9. The only way I can approach 9 on this interval is from the left side. All right, I can tell right away I'm going to need to do a trig sub. And because that might be messy, I'm going to first consider an indefinite integral just so I can squeeze out the antiderivative, and then I'll come back and plop everything in these limits. You'll see what I mean in just a second. So I'm going to say let's consider the indefinite integral of x squared dx over rad 81 minus x squared. So looking at the denominator, since I have a constant minus a variable squared, that's time to use sine theta. So let's let x equal 9 sine theta. And then dx would be 9 cosine theta d theta. All right, so let's see here. We're going to have in the numerator x squared. So that would be 9 sine theta quantity squared. And then dx, so 9 cosine theta d theta, over radical 81 minus x squared, so 9 sine theta squared. Ooh, this little guy's looking wild. So let's simplify from here. In the numerator, we've got 81 sine squared theta, and then 9 cosine theta d theta. And then in the denominator, so I don't want to take too much time writing this all out, this is going to end up being 81 minus 81 sine squared theta. And I can factor out the 81, and then I have 1 minus sine squared theta, which the whole point of doing trig sub is we can replace this now with the appropriate Pythagorean identity. So I have rad 81 cosine squared theta, which technically is 9 absolute value cosine theta, right? But when we do trig sub, we restrict what quadrant theta is in, so we don't have to worry about keeping the absolute value. So basically the nice thing is this is 9 cosine theta. That's going to cancel with the 9 cosine theta up here. Look how things are working out for us. And all I'm left with now is integral 81 sine squared theta d theta. Okay, so what do you do when you see sine squared? You replace it with your half angle identity. So I'm going to take the 81 out. And then I have 1/2 1 minus cosine 2 theta d theta. Okay, very good. And then go ahead, we can integrate from here. I'm going to take the 1/2 out with the 81, okay? Antiderivative of 1 would just be theta, minus antiderivative of cosine 2 theta would be a 1/2 sine 2 theta plus c. All right, and then since I know I need to go back to the original variable, which is x, I'm going to draw a triangle in just a hot second. But let me replace this sine 2 theta with the appropriate double angle identity because my triangle is going to be a theta triangle, not a 2 theta triangle. So this is 2 sine theta cosine theta plus c. Then the 2 and the 1/2 cancel, so I've got 81 over 2 times theta minus sine theta cosine theta plus c. Okay, so how to get back to x's? Well, look at the original substitution that you made. Where was it? Right here. Let x equal 9 sine theta. So that's what I'm going to use to draw my triangle. That means x divided by 9 is sine theta. So draw a triangle. Boom, boom. Here's theta. So sine of theta, just think back to xoxo. It's the ratio of the opposite side over the hypotenuse. And then this missing side, use the Pythagorean theorem. It's going to be 81 minus x squared. Okay, good. So let's see, we have 81 over 2. If I want just plain old theta, go back here to the substitution that you made. Since sine of theta was x over 9, then that tells me theta by itself is sine inverse of x over 9. Okay. So this is sine inverse of x over 9 minus sine theta, that's x over 9, and then cosine theta, that's adjacent over hypotenuse. So come to your triangle. Adjacent would be rad 81 minus x squared over hypotenuse, which is 9 plus c. And then we're pretty much cleaned up here, right? I think I'll distribute the 81 over 2 now. So we have 81 over 2 sine inverse x over 9. And then do you see how this is 81? And when I'm distributing this now over here, it's going to cancel. So I'll just have minus a 1/2 x times rad 81 minus x squared plus c. Woo! So save this antiderivative. We're not done. I'm going to use that now and return to the problem at hand. Yes, what was the problem at hand? This limit, because we have an indefinite integral. So since I have the antiderivative done and dusted, I can just plop it into here. Watch. So now, returning to our problem. Let's write a little narrative, right? Okay. Now that means that the limit, as t approaches 9 from the left, of the integral 0 to t x squared dx over rad 81 minus x squared is equal to the limit as t approaches 9 from the left. Now all of this is going to come down here. So I have 81 over 2 sine inverse of x over 9 minus 1/2 x rad 81 minus x squared. And then this gets evaluated from, that's right, 0 to t. All right, so we have the limit t approaches 9 from the left. Plugging in t, the upper limit, 81 over 2 sine inverse t over 9 minus 1/2 t times rad 81 minus t squared. That's the upper limit. Minus, now let's plug in 0, so 81 over 2 sine inverse of 0 over 9, that's just 0, minus 1/2 times 0. Okay, I don't even care about the rest. It's all going to be 0. So let's see. These last two terms are easy because sine inverse of 0 is just 0. So this is 0. This is 0. Let's see what else is happening. T is approaching 9 from the left. Okay. So I could just substitute in 9 from the left here. That's no problem. This is going to give me 81 over 2 sine inverse of 1 minus 1/2 times, and then again, t is approaching 9 from the left, so this would be 9 rad 81 minus 81. So this all goes to 0. Goodbye. I'm not writing lim anymore because there's no more t's in the problem. Do you see that? Oh, good. And then now think back, what's sine inverse of 1? When is sine equal to 1? When is the y-coordinate 1 on your unit circle? Y at pi over 2, Professor V. Yes, very good. Very good, children. Okay, so 81 over 2 times pi over 2. And that gives us 81 pi over 4. What does that tell me? Well, as long as the limit exists as a finite number, then that means our integral is convergent. All right, and that concludes the integral of the day. You know, another option, you wouldn't have to necessarily write this indefinite integral separately if you just wanted to keep writing lim the whole way down. It's just you have to be careful when you do the trig sub that you also change your limits of integration. And it can get a little messy, so I thought, let me show you a different way to maybe go about it. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're in my class, it is currently number 34 on the practice test, so you're welcome. Subscribe if you haven't already. Check out my playlists. You could follow Integral of the Day. I'll be uploading more frequently in the next couple of weeks. And you can also check me out on Instagram, TikTok at MathTV with Professor V. Bye, guys.